A common concern that I hear pretty frequently from buyers and sellers is, I'm gonna be out of town on the day of closing, so we can't close that day, right? Wrong. If you are selling a home, you can actually get all of your paperwork done up front, including even notarizing your grant deed and your distribution of proceeds well ahead of your scheduled closing date. As long as you check with your agent and the escrow company, there should be no reason that you cannot close escrow while you're out of town, even if you're out of the country. This, of course, is only true if you have planned ahead and completed all necessary paperwork to close escrow before you leave. Now, if you're a buyer, while it can be slightly more challenging, you can definitely still close escrow without being in town on that day. The difference for buyers is that there are two things that do need to happen very close to your actual closing date. One of these is signing your loan docs in front of a licensed notary. Unfortunately, loan docs are the last step of the home buying process and typically will not be received by escrow until a few days prior to closing. So if your lender is ahead of schedule, you can sign these a little bit ahead of time before you head out of town. Worst case scenario, if you are out of state, you can still meet with a notary out of state and have these loan documents shipped back to escrow and still close on time while not being present. It does become a little bit more difficult if you are out of the country, but even then, you can notarize loan documents at a US embassy and still successfully close, though of course this does add a layer of complexity and might ruin your vacation. That being said, the other item you will need to take care of as a buyer is wiring in your final closing funds. This is something that is much easier to do before you leave and can be done substantially ahead of time, even ahead of signing your actual loan documents. Now, of course, the situation I am mentioning is assuming that there is financing involved in the deal in the first place. If it's a cash deal with no financing, then everything becomes much simpler and many of the steps I just mentioned would not be necessary. If you have any questions about buying or selling real estate while not being local to where that real estate is, let's talk. I'm Jordan Bennett with Jordan Bennett and Associates. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great real estate tips.